Join Jeff as he identifies the presence of energies of forces of shock, panic, and trauma, including psychic shock, panic, and trauma, being held within the body-mind field complex. So without further delay, thank you, Jeffrey.
Do you really think and believe that millions of evolved souls would say yes to come to Earth just to die in a totalitarian New World Order? Absolutely not. We came here to flip this world upside down, back to its original state and more. We came here for the new Earth, for world peace, for the immortal golden age, for a new Eden. We came here for nothing less than to send a wave of light and love across the universe, signaling the birth of a new order of divine justice, peace, compassion, and love. Truer now than it's ever been. So when it's darkest before the dawn, when you think things are not working out, when you think, oh my God, I'm at another dead end in my life, you're growing, you're changing. That awareness alone is the first step. Awareness is always the first step to change. And be able to have that kind of awareness about your life is an amazing gift. There is power over any human being as long as they do not know who they genuinely are. There's a power over a human being as long as they do not know who they genuinely are. And that's this diagram here. You're an infinite being having a human experience. And if you don't understand that and know that in your bones, there is a power over you. There's something controlling you, something manipulating you. You have to get to the point where this is first nature. All right, I'm going to start with this quote here that you hear me say quite often, and it's part of the manumission presentation we put on. Fear limits growth of the personality and leads to inhibition. Because it takes energy to rise above fear, the oppressed are unable to reach a higher level unaided. And that's what my entire practice is built around, is that quote right there. Because it takes energy to rise above fear, the oppressed are unable to reach a higher level unaided. If fear is not, fear is part of life, fear is part of being human, but fear in this reality that we currently exist in, rather than it being a part of life, it has become a way of life. And those are two radically different things. We can deal with fear, occasional fear, it happens now and then, but living in a constant state of fear, we're not made for that. We are absolutely not made for that. And this whole ecosystem of this reality, this matrix of this world, and I've said this before, we've come here to move the world from one of lack and struggle to one of love and light. But this whole ecosystem has been set up to work against us. Okay? This is a pristine, intact, functioning human being. Spiritual being having a human experience. And you've seen this diagram many, many times, but I want to go over it again because it's very, very important. Okay. So you have the creator of all that is, you have your appropriate high self, you have the central channel, you have your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body, and you sit on this earth. And then you have a line of energy that goes from the creator down through your field into the earth chakra. And so this energy is coming down this side, going up that side. That is a two-stage channel. And both directions have to be functioning. And when this energy comes down, you take from it and you clear stuff. So when you go through your daily stress, your daily, your what you're doing in this world, whatever you're doing, job, family, relationships, et cetera, you use this energy, infinite energy, to clear this field. And so shit happens, stuff lands in the field, and you process it out. That's the way it works. That's the way it's supposed to work. It's supposed to land in there, you process it out and let it go. And that can be anything. It can be shock, panic, trauma. It can be bad relationships. It can be fill in the blank, whatever it is, whatever you're experiencing as the human part of you. This is the way the field functions or is set up to function. This connection needs to be there. This energy needs to be flowing. And you can see how bright this is. These are colors. These subtle bodies have different colors to them. Together, they make up your aura. Okay. Now, aura, a lot of people believe the aura is the field. It's not. The aura is the magnetic emanation from all of this energy working together. Okay. That's why your aura, for a lot of people, can be different colors. And that's why also for some people, the aura can be, through Kirlian photography, can be one color. And that's because they're putting too much emphasis on one of these, or some of these subtle bodies are jacked and out of shape or not functioning or not correct. So that's the way that works. Now, that's the way it's supposed to work. This is our mission, is to get this world back to this state, back to love and light. Now, the way it really works. You have the environment that we're in. This is the world. This is made up of the food we eat, which anymore is crap, with GMO food, processed food, et cetera, et cetera. And one of the most Looney Tune things I've ever heard of, and they're for some reason they're choosing to pick up the pace on it, is Monsanto is deploying these, I'm going to call them killer seeds, because they don't reproduce. So every year farmers have to buy their seeds from Monsanto rather than farming their seeds and preparing them and planting them next year. And so that's GMO food. That's genetically modified organisms. Medicine. Food is crap. The medicine is, I don't know. It's not what it used to be. It's doctors have lost their focus. Media, we all know what the media is about. They lie and they lie again and they double down on their lies. And 99% of what you hear is propaganda. And I don't care what source it's coming from. It's propaganda and bullshit. The culture. We're watching our culture be torn asunder right before our very eyes. You know, this divide between left and right and identity politics. And, you know, the thing about identity politics is it's insidious, because you can take an identity like man or woman, and then woman by race, and then by race by sexual preference, IQ or whatever. I mean, you can just go just tear everything asunder. We're no longer humans here to love one another. I'm this, I'm that, I belong to this group. That person belongs to that group. That's insanity. Insanity. We're all here to love and care about each other. And I don't give a shit about your identity. You know, how many oppression check boxes or boxes get checked? I don't give a shit. But they sure promote it in our culture, and they're just dividing this country left and right, dividing this world left and right. That's part of culture. Economics. You're watching economics right now, folks. This week, the stock market is down and officially in bear territory. So the joke is people's 401ks are becoming 201ks. And I can feel the energy very clearly. It's very, 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 very reminiscent of 2008. In 2008, I was at Chase. And I tell you, that was an interesting time to be there. It was during the 2008 crash. So economics, they're tearing this country apart by shutting down our energy sources and making all kinds of crazy claims about what it could be or should be or how it should be configured, et cetera, et cetera. That's a debate that we could have. But economics is a big deal, and it's about to get really serious. It's about to become even a bigger deal. Beth and I were having lunch today, and our waitress was telling us that her electric was off. Now, we're having a hot day here in Columbus. It's 95 degrees, but it's not terrible. You know, we've had other 95-degree days. But the local electric company here has actually chosen a couple of different neighborhoods to turn off the electric in order to save the grid to other neighborhoods. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with that pattern, that is a third world country. I was telling Beth I had traveled to the Philippines many years ago, and I was sitting in a movie theater, and about halfway through the movie, you just hear this whine. It goes, meow, and all the lights go off, the projector goes off, and I'm freaking. I'm looking around going, what the hell? And everybody I was with, it was like they're all just sitting there, continue to eat their popcorn, continue to drink their soda. And they said, just wait a few minutes. And about 15 minutes later, it all came back on. Just, and then the screen came back on, the movie continued, so forth and so on. They were used to it. That's a third world country. When you don't have enough power, you don't have enough energy to run day-to-day activity, and you got to take turns with blackouts and outages. And so we're experiencing that firsthand right here in Columbus. So you got to ask yourself, why? How did this happen? How did we get into that situation? It goes a lot to economics. It goes a lot to culture and even to business. The other thing is government. Our government is probably against us more than it's for us. And that's a discussion for another day. I'm not going to go into the details of it, but I can tell you unequivocally, the government is not your friend. Business. Big business is, we know this for a fact, we've been censored. So they were covering up the truth in the name of truth. That's get your head around that one. So business, big tech, and you got to watch big tech because they want all your money, they want all your information. And things like Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, if it's free, you're the product. They're taking your information and selling it. Law, holy crap, every time you turn around, there's a new law in the books. It's just unreal. Just a new law here, new law there, new regulation there. City of Columbus is just a nightmare for this kind of stuff. And then science. If you've learned nothing else from the past couple of years, there's no such thing as settled science. And I don't give a shit what people tell you or what experts tell you. There is no settled science. This environment that you're in is not real. It's not reality. It's false manufactured. And so what it does is you're living in a system that is not designed to suit the human spirit. It's not designed to suit the human spirit. I don't believe you were made to get up at 6 o'clock, drive 2 hours to work, sit in an office for 8 hours or 10 hours or 12 hours, and then drive 2 hours home. It's a lot of waste of time and a lot of things you could be doing for other constructive uses. But that's the way the system is constructed for most people. Now, if you pay attention, you can reconstruct it in something that fits you. But I'm talking about the vast majority of humanity. Okay. So what we end up with is we end up with a field. You can see the difference. This is a functioning field. This is a dysfunctional field. And it's collapsed. Some of the subtle bodies have collapsed in on itself. It's really thin over here. It's really thin and not able to protect itself. In this field, you don't have the connection to the creator. You don't have the energy coming down. And then you can't clear this stuff out of here. You can't clear the shock, the panic, and the trauma out of the body-mind-feel complex. And that's a problem because then you get stuck in a spiral and you feel down, you feel worthless, you feel discombobulated. And then you kind of get your bearings again. And that little small voice in the back of your head says, well, get up and try again. Get up and go at it again. Give it another shot. And then it comes along and smacks you again. And then you go down again. You just spiral down, 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 down. And the more you spiral, the more you struggle, the more anxiety you feel, the more fear you experience. And remember how I started this off. Fear. And I'm going to go to my favorite Marianne Williamson quote. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. You have come here to be an example. You have come here to participate in this world at a higher level than other people. Again, you wouldn't be on this call if this wasn't true. And you've come with something special, some higher level of consciousness, some gift or series of gifts that you have even yet to understand or believe or tap into. And as you liberate yourself, you automatically liberate others. I love you all.